Welcome to another edition of Race Talk Live. Bobby Potts and Bill Grant with you here live at the District Eat and Play. Bobby? Yeah. Race Talk Live. I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready now.
Okay. Got go-karts going behind us
We
tonight.
do. These guys are going to get in the go-karts later.
Oh, you betcha.
That ought to be fun.
Who's going to win?
I am.
You'll probably spin it out.
They're getting put in the wall.
Before we go too far, let's introduce yourselves.
Dylan.
What's your last
Chambers.
name? Yeah, thank you.
Dalton Chambers.
Dallas Chambers.
Why didn't you do it?
Because I'd have got it wrong. I didn't see you step up either.
Yeah, I think I would have got it.
You think?
I think.
Well, he's only interviewed Dallas, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him a few times this summer. So
Really? Where at?
Salina.
it's fine. Yep. So, yep. No, this is gonna be a good time. First of all, let's get this stuff out. Of course, Belleville High Banks Hall of Fame and National Midget Auto Racing Museum, located there in Belleville, Kansas. Awesome place. There's summer.
You got winter hours there too.
Yeah, summer hours are Tuesday through Sunday, but winter hours right now are Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 4. So need to go check that place out. You guys ever been?
I've been by it. I've never got to stop in there.
Never stopped in
Need
there.
to stop in.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool place. Of course, Jay, I'm sure he's swamped this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can't remember if he said he was getting ready to go to the Dome or not. But I know he's had a busy summer. But anyway, Jay helps us out, BSB Manufacturing, great guy. Got any questions, chassis, shocks, springs, good guy. Just plan on spending a little time on the phone. He'll get you straightened out. But,
Do
he's
it
a
over
good
your
guy.
lunch hour when you
Yeah.
can spend some time with him.
He does a great job. Jay's a good guy. You're up.
I mean,
You gave me the short list tonight.
how'd I do that? Because I got all these over here.
Way to go.
Kansas Auto Racing Museum, 1205 Manor Drive, Chapman, Kansas. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Admission's $5 for adults, children, $3 for children 6 and 2. Salina Speedway, 2841 South Burma Road, Salina. Racing every Friday night. Great to have Chuck on board with us this year. Mean Dean Productions, event production services. Find him on Facebook at Mean Dean Production. You're getting married. He can hook you up. District Eat Play, 2259 South 9th Street. We call it the old Sears building, but I'm telling you what, this place is huge. And
It's a cool place.
Cool place. The bar is
Yep.
awesome. The food's always been good. Full bar, restaurant, acts, throwing, go-karts, cornhole, eat, play, repeat. Hill Job Graphics, 785-822-4536. Signs, banners, demo number 6924 East Highway K4. He hooked us up with our shirts and he wrapped Dean's trailer, did a great job with it. Concordia Raceway, 615 Industrial Road, Concordia, quarter-mile, egg-shaped dirt track, east side of Concordia on the fairgrounds. And if you plug it into your GPS, it'll take you to the north side instead of the south side.
No.
Banquet's coming up there on the 7th of December.
Yep. I know Salt City's had theirs. Salina Speedway had their banquet. RPM had theirs. So, yeah, it's banquet time.
It's banquet time.
That's always a fun time.
December
to
7th.
go to the banquets.
Don't think I'm complaining. I think the world of Mark, but the only problem with December 7th is that's on my bucket list. I want to go to the Dome.
Oh.
I've never been there yet. So
Yep.
maybe some year I'll make it. You guys ever been there?
No, but I want to go.
No? You
Yeah.
gotta go.
It's
Bobby's
like-
been all the time.
Hopefully one of these years we can make it over there to watch that.
And as I said when I talked to you earlier, Ryan Grint told me to tell you hello. He said you're a good group of guys.
Yeah,
So he has fun
definitely
racing.
I appreciate he doesn't wreck me.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty famous. You got 18 people watching.
well, we're getting there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Of course, you got, I'm going to say all these names wrong, but Danielle May, Dennis Pritchard Sr., Shane Haney. You said this was Dad?
That's Dad.
Haney?
Yep, Dad's on there.
Hi, Dad. Jalen Lundberg, Basil Price is watching.
Hey Basil, how you doing?
Hello, Basil. Danny, Chris Griffith, Jeff Holmes, Brandon Jensen. Okay, you got it. Alec Jeske's watching.
The old jet ski.
Yeah.
Dennis Pritchard.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Eli Jeanette. Dennis Pritchard.
That's Dallas's old lady.
All right.
Rick Rogers.
Hey, Rick. We're looking for sponsors for next year already, too.
Bob
So we'll
Weiss.
be hitting you up. So, Alec, get that checkbook out. Stock car, 19D. Okay?
Sport mod,
Number.
17D.
Okay?
Sport mod 18D.
Okay.
You gonna remember all that?
No. Not a chance. What got you guys started in racing?
Oh, man. Dad, probably.
Where at?
Well, Dad started racing in probably 96. He'll chime in and probably say. But, I mean, I think we've kind of been around it our entire life. More or less been consumed by it.
Sure. It's funny how that happens. Huh?
Yeah. Dad's to blame, though, I would say.
Yeah.
But,
Dalton started, and then I wanted in.
yeah.
Really?
And they
And
just
then
kind
what'd you just decide?
I just decided to follow.
yeah.
Right?
How many years y'all been doing this?
This was my 4th year.
4th year?
This is my 7th year.
7th?
This is my 2nd.
2nd year?
Yep.
You guys having a blast?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Would you do anything else?
Probably not.
No. No.
You know, like you said, you know, Bobby's dad raced for years. We all know, you know, we don't all know Mel Potts, but Mel was definitely a good driver around the area. My dad raced jalopies back out in California where I was born, but never did race here. But we found Salina Speedway once we got here, and then I got the bug. And yeah,
Had to do it again, huh? Or had to go and do it?
I had to do it.
Had to do it, yeah.
You know, of course, you've been interviewing people a long time, but isn't it the most favorite part of interviewing the winners is their first win?
Yeah,
I got the opportunity
with his.
to interview Dallas on his first win. It was
Yeah, heck, he's been doing it for 2 years and got it done.
Awesome.
I've been trying for 7 years. I still ain't got it done.
You'll get it. You'll
No, we'll
get it.
get
That,
it.
you know
We'll
what?
get it, yeah.
There are. How do I say this? There are a lot of guys that raced a long time that
Oh, yeah.
never got a win.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and unfortunately, guys, stock cars, sport mods, it's all getting tighter, more and more competitive.
Very competitive.
The technology is making it more and more competitive. You guys, it's fun to watch you guys. Shit.
You know, and I talked to Dallas that night, and we always talk about it on the show how racing, there is your ultimate highs one week and your lows the next.
Yep.
The week before, he hit the wall, knocked the right front tire off, and we left him sitting on pit road. Didn't give him a chance to
Was he
finish.
mad at you?
Oh, yeah,
I think
they
I
were-
was more mad at
Really?
whoever
Yeah.
made that call
They were
because
throwing
yeah.
yards up.
Yeah.
And the call was, and I don't know, it was a bad deal because you hit the wall
Yeah.
and you knocked the right front down, and then you went a little farther and then you stopped, and they classify it as being an intentional yellow.
Yeah.
So that's why they went off and left you sit.
Yeah.
And then you come back the next week and end up winning the
Yeah.
feature. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's racing's crazy.
Damn it. What'd Dad say on there? 96.
96.
96. He said Dino, yeah. Dean Bontrager. You know Dean? You ever remember the name Dean Bontrager?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
I would have to. I got to give a lot of credit to Dino back in. He got me going, and
Oh,
yeah,
So-
that guy did more for me than I could even imagine.
Let's do this real quick. What, if you don't mind, what chassis are you driving?
Medieval.
Medieval,
First class.
first class. You like it?
I do. I like working with Mike.
Mike's a great guy, isn't he?
He's a
Good
great
guy.
guy. He's a local guy. He answers the phone anytime I call him. Sunday at midnight.
And I think he's
During
really
race night.
fair, you know?
He is. He's a great guy.
I've got a Bill's bill.
Bill's Bill?
Yep.
Okay.
Bobby's a good guy too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had one Bill's bill.
And there ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
medieval either.
They're just a long way from help.
They are. Can you call them and get some help?
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem to like your car with the left front up in the air.
Well,
Is that true?
I mean, it just kind of does it.
It just does it?
I've moved a lot of stuff. I've changed a lot of things, and it still does it. So now I just leave it
You just leave
because
it?
I've figured out how to drive it like that.
You
So
like it?
it's fun.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once I started keeping it away from the tractor tires.
The tractor tires will bite you, won't they?
They bit a lot in the first 2 years.
What about you? How do you like your setup? You like it carrying the left front all up in the air?
Well, no, not necessarily. I would, I think my biggest learning curve is the last 3 or 4 years I've been in an A mod. I went from a stock car to a USRA A mod, and this is my first year in a sport mod. So the difference in the driving style between the modified and the sport mod have been a drastic learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the sport mod seems to wheelie up a lot more than the A mod did, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't like driving it like that. I don't like tight race cars.
Yeah.
You've never heard somebody complain more about not having enough horsepower underneath their foot, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you like your car set up? You like it tight like that?
I do not like it tight, and I don't like it loose. When it's too tight, it pushes up the track. When it's too loose, I just loop it in front of everybody.
So, because Ryan knows you guys, and I know he's back home listening. We were just talking about this weekend when he was when he was first getting into his late model stuff, middle of his class, I think. I can't remember, but I kept telling him that a loose race car was a fast car.
Yeah.
And we got it loose, okay? And I have a picture. He has a picture of him with the car in between turns 3 and 4, and it's pointed right at the infield, and he's got it cranked to the right, and he's looking at me, flipping me off.
IMCA came out with the new rules today, and
Oh boy, I
they
seen
took
that.
some spoiler away from the open.
Yeah, I see
motors
that. In the
Is that
sport
gonna
mod.
affect you guys?
I don't think you'll notice it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You've
No.
both got open
Open motors. Yeah.
so you'll have to
Yeah.
take a little spoiler away.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might notice it at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, you may know. That would be the only place. I would say the fairgrounds, but anywhere else,
Yeah.
I don't think you'll notice it near as
You know,
much.
a lot of guys think, that spoiler probably don't do a whole lot, but what do you think? Are you probably going 60 mile an hour down the straightaway?
Yeah.
Take that, hold it out the window going down the highway. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
it
mean,
catches air.
yeah,
All you
it
got to
does.
do is watch the
Yeah.
car go down the backstretch
Yeah.
when there's a little dust. Watch it.
Yeah.
You can see the spoiler working.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But at the end of the day, I think with there still being a spoiler now, if they would have just taken the whole spoiler away.
Taken it
That's a
away.
game changer. I mean, that's a big difference. But
3
taking
inches.
2 inches off,
Yeah.
I think it'd be all right.
it'll be all right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Your dad says he'll be back out next year in the Rocket Late model running super stock. He has to. I have to because I don't want to beat the boys.
He would be the first person that I put in the wall if I raced with him.
Yeah, he
Just
did.
because.
He
We
did.
had
Just
this
because.
conversation this summer, and you don't like racing like that, right?
No.
But you do it to your dad
Just because.
just because.
Or a tire.
Look out, Dad. I see a tire in your future.
That's funny.
Favorite tracks?
Hutch.
Hutch? All three of you?
I
Yeah.
like Hutch.
You like the big half mile?
I didn't
Hometown
used to
track.
like it, but I like it now.
Yeah, hometown,
Not far to go.
2 minutes down the road.
yeah.
That's nice. Yep.
And, I don't know, something about that place, back when they were running the Hutch Nationals there, that was the only show there a year, and it was the most common one we got to go to growing up. We didn't go to a ton of races as when we were kids, but we'd always go to the Nationals. And
Sure.
That was the bucket. I mean, that's
was-
the one you wanted to win.
It was a blast. And I
Oh,
mean, it
man.
was camping, and it was hanging out, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a week long of racing.
Yeah, and if you didn't,
200 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it never fails, usually watch the sun come up.
Yep.
One of the nights, but,
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Those were fun days.
but
Yeah. Hopefully he gets back. I know Phil signed a 3-year
3-year
contract,
deal
so
on
that
it.
was exciting.
Yeah.
Looks like
You know-
he's got a pretty decent schedule.
I need to be careful, but we really need to get rid of the fair board president.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think he's kind of
he's loosened up a little bit.
leaned over. Yeah.
We
Boy,
talked
he
about
hated
that.
racing in the beginning,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, but him and Phil had some good conversations, and I think he's back on, the side of what Phil sees could be the potential there, and I think Phil's going to show him that this year with what he's got lined up.
Phil's got a vision.
Yeah,
And I think if he'll let him work, it'll be something pretty spectacular.
absolutely.
And the door is still opening for, new opportunities there. So
Okay. Well, then I stand corrected, but in the beginning, that dude didn't want nothing to do with racing.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
No,
He didn't care.
He was
No.
being tough on everybody.
Yep.
I guess they voted he said they voted 13-0 on
Yeah.
keeping it, so
That's good.
Absolutely.
they must have woke up and seen they could make some money there anyway.
And then your dad said Dalton won the Nationals in a stock car.
Almost won.
I tried to win.
Almost.
You
tried?
I tried.
What
I
happened?
Tried. Oh my goodness! I tell you what, YouTube. You can look it up on YouTube. But I was out there in an old Leaf Spring Nova. That was probably my second year.
I think it's second year.
My second year, and that's back when they called them thumpers back.
Okay,
They were
okay.
those thumpers.
Yeah.
And I started middle to the back of the field, and with the white flag was getting ready to come out, and I caught the leader, and I was pushing him all the way down the back straightaway. And I don't know if it was excitement or I got in the corner way too hot. I went to pass Les Mertens on the bottom, and I spun him out. And when I spun him out, I spun myself out with the white coming out, and I didn't get her done.
Piled up the whole field.
Piled up the whole field.
Oh, did you really?
The whole
Four
entire
cars.
field behind me.
There's
yeah.
only like 4 cars
There-
that slipped through, and I don't think anybody slipped through without damage.
Did you go to the back?
Well, I didn't
he went to
finish.
the trailer.
Yeah, I went
You
to the
were done?
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got hit from all angles.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, the radiator was practically touching the
Mike
carburetor.
Gurian got him the best. Just head on, just flat.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We tried though. It was probably the closest I had ever come to winning that thing.
I hated the Nationals. I hated Hutch for a long time. And up until I was with my last late modeling race there is when I finally, this place ain't so bad.
Yeah,
Kind of fun.
it's kind of fun. It's yeah.
I was waiting for the caution that always happens, right? And I got taken out by a car behind me. It is what it is. But I wouldn't mind going back.
Yeah.
The first time I ever got in a race car was on that track
Really?
in 2023 at Hutch Nationals.
Threw a car together and
Yeah,
in a
Car
couple of
together in a
months.
couple of weeks and went racing.
We built a car. Yeah, it was probably a week. Yeah, and we slapped because it was supposed to be the last Hutch Nationals. You know,
Oh yeah.
Dad had raced it, I had raced it, Dylan had raced it. It's like Dallas has got to do it. I mean, if it's going to be the last Hutch Nationals, and we did. We took an old A mod, made it a sport mod, built a motor in 48 hours, and on practice night we loaded it on the trailer, and I told him to find a fire suit because we're going to go to the racetrack.
So, obviously, you guys are liking the IMCA part of things?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. It's pretty predominant here in the central part of the state.
It is. There's so many options to go race on a weekend. I mean, there's so many tracks.
None of you been up to Concordia? What's up with that?
No, we've never.
Well,
What?
it's Sunday,
Well, duh.
and I still in school, so it's kind of hard to make a whole weekend trip, and then you got to change a gear, and we already have to change gears enough between Hutch and Salina.
we'll make it up there.
God.
We'll make it
up there this
We'll
year.
make it up there.
Jesus, I would hope so.
I think we've raced most of the tracks around.
There's a few select IMCA tracks we haven't.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't run Concordia. We've ran Hayes, Waukene,
Dodge City.
Dodge, and Salina.
And it is a quarter-mile track, and I'm just bagging on you guys a little bit. It is a quarter-mile track. It's a lot of fun.
I went out and raced lacrosse.
Did you?
I went out and ran the USRA versus IMCA deal at lacrosse, and that was a pretty good time.
Did you like it?
I like that. We pulled in there, and I was like, and I'm pretty sure they ran the cattle off of that place. But old Smokey Fairbanks, I mean, he does him and his son Trey. They do a really good job promoting that deal, and I had a lot of fun out there.
They need to race more.
They do. I hope they do. I didn't know what to think the first time I pulled in there, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, the little quarter miles are
Oh my goodness.
a
Yeah.
lot of fun to watch.
I thought we were going to go slow around there, and you had to be on the wheel. I mean,
That's like
yeah,
From the drop of the green.
Yeah.
we went out to Waukene this year.
Yeah.
That place was different. It looked like a miniature Belleville. I
Uh-huh.
mean, kind of the way it looks. And we go out there for hot laps, and I was like, well, that place is kind of fun. And we go out for the heat race, and I'm pushing the gas pedal as far as I thought I could push it. And they were leaving me like a freight train. And I come in, and Dalton's like, are you on the chip? I said, bad. I was running the Hutch gear at Waukene, and I don't hit the chip at
Oh,
Hutch.
really?
And I was hitting it at Waukene.
Holy
And
shit.
I was
Carrying so
sliding.
much corner speed.
I was
Yeah,
sliding
that's
myself
crazy.
down in the seat to get a little more gas pedal on the very tip of my toes.
Yeah,
This thing's got to go faster.
Yeah.
It don't look like it ought to be that fast.
It doesn't.
It's wide open.
That's how it was in the sport mod. It was like I held a wide open around there, and I remember pulling in, and I was like, "Is there something wrong with this thing?" Because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it's as fast as it would go,
Yep.
and it was still like, man, you didn't even have to lift going around there.
Yep.
It was pretty crazy.
I'm sorry, Bobby, I got it. For years, Bobby told me, you got to go out to Waukene and watch the races out there. It's great. We get home at a decent time. It's a fun time. You got to go.
Did you get
Tell him, Bobby, what time do we get home?
Well, they had sprint cars,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my favorite.
and they had a bad wreck,
Okay.
and didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't that where somebody hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that took a long time. So
Yeah.
that's why we.
So you got home a little late.
So we got
A lot late.
A lot late.
But I've drugged Bobby all over the state of Kansas racing. I took him down to Caney with the late model one time, and we pulled up in my driveway, and the sun was coming up.
That was a long trip.
Well, we planned that out accordingly to run Hayes on their last their last point show on that Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So we just drove back to Hayes and stayed with a buddy.
Stayed with there.
Yeah,
Now the drive home that next night to work Monday morning wasn't fun.
Yeah,
but
because we did a 3-day swing on that deal. That was
Salina,
Friday.
Waukene, and Hayes. Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So you're still in school?
Yeah.
What are you studying?
Ag business.
Where at?
Fort Hayes.
Fort Hayes. Okay.
Graduate in December.
Gonna make it?
Yep.
Sure?
Yep.
We only got a few days to
Yeah.
go.
He's doing better than
Chomping
me.
at the bit.
What about you?
I'm not in school. I went to Fort Hays State, and I went out there. I was just telling these guys on the way there. I went there. I paid the money. I enrolled in the classes, and then they expected me to go to class.
Yeah. Don't that suck?
I got sidetracked at the bars. I didn't do very.
Which one
hot.
was your favorite one?
I
Toby Jug?
No, I went down the avenue of all of them.
All of them?
But,
I went to college to play football, and I don't know how many papers I typed up at a bar downtown, which doesn't exist anymore. I'd sit there with a pitcher of beer.
was it the home?
It was the home, but it was they called it the Blue Lounge.
Yeah, so that's funny.
What about you?
I didn't go to college.
That's all right. What are you doing?
Right now I'm working for Idea Tech.
A what?
I work for Idea Tech right now.
What do you do?
Underground fiber.
Ah, okay.
That's coming to an end though.
Why?
I'm moving on.
Where you going?
Dig right, hydro excavation.
Okay.
That's where I'm going next.
Better?
I think so, probably. In the long run, probably.
We're getting underground fiber internet out where I live, and I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm on a
it's
broadband thing.
You'll like the fiber.
And when it rains or the wind blows, I lose everything.
Yeah.
Awful.
So,
Cool.
what goes on with you guys in the wintertime?
Yeah, what do you do?
You're just talking, you got cars tore apart? Or
Deer hunt.
Yep.
You're
Hunting.
I like
Yep.
to go deer hunt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Car's already tore apart.
Okay.
So,
What are you going to do to it?
well, I got to freshen up the motor.
Do you really?
Yeah, I put 43 nights on this one,
Okay.
and that's the longest running one I've ever owned. The other ones lasted 6 nights and blew up.
Car looks like it works good.
Better.
Okay. Where's your car? What are you doing with yours?
I don't know where I'm gonna go with it yet. I haven't quite decided.
So yours hasn't even been washed
It-
yet?
oh,
Just
it's washed.
Sitting in the
It-
corner?
it's,
Four flat
it's-
tires.
it's washed and backed in the shop. I haven't.
And 4 flat tires,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I did. I unloaded it after that last fall nationals out of Hayes. I was pretty bummed out with it, and I just put it away and walked away for a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad you washed it, because
I did wash it.
You
That
can't
is
get
like-
that mud off.
that is
Oh,
the
Lord.
worst thing, is to get the car out in the middle of the winter and it's
It's
all
filthy.
And
Yeah.
it's below zero outside. You can't wash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine's fully, I guess, all the aluminum's off of it, other than the cockpit. It's getting all new body, all new aluminum this winter.
Who's building it?
I'm gonna have Aaron Rail do it.
Who?
Aaron Rail.
Okay. Aaron does good job. That guy over there does some good stuff.
Yeah, he does. I've seen a few of the bodies you did. They do turn out pretty good.
Yeah, he does a good job.
That's meticulous work. I couldn't do it. We built my first modified. We tried to build the body on it.
The sail panels were hideous.
Oh, it was the most ugly. I remember we put that whole thing together. We put the body on it, my first modified, and I stepped back to take a picture of it, and I couldn't even take a picture of it. And I remember sitting in, I sent Tanner Mullins a text. I said, "When can you get this thing in? I need it." He built me a roof. I was like, "This is horrible."
This is ugly.
Oh my goodness, it was ugly.
That's why you can buy our panels exactly how they're supposed to be. Line them up and rivet them on.
You know, the one good thing IMCA did over the winter was, for the stock cars, I like that Camaro body.
That
You do?
no,
I
that,
do.
I
that
think
is
it's
the-
hideous.
That is the.
You think it's
I
hideous?
think
That
it's
is
hideous.
the
I'm not a
most
fan.
hideous.
You're
looking
what?
thing.
I'm not a fan.
God damn, I
The
like
picture,
it.
the picture looks terrible, and I went up to Boone, and it looks
You
even
know,
worse in person.
The actual car I seen at Boone,
Yeah,
it looked pretty cool.
I thought it made it look worse up
Pictures,
there.
yeah.
You like it?
I liked it.
Do you?
Yeah.
My thing is it doesn't look like a Camaro.
It's
The front does.
supposed to resemble one of those
Looks like a funny car.
Copa Camaro thingies.
Copos.
Yeah.
Copo Camaro, yeah.
It looks like a
I
funny
don't know.
car though.
The square nose, that 80s Ford Monte Carlo look, I think that's I like that.
Well, I tried to put a Camaro nose on mine for this year.
Didn't
And
like it?
I bought it and it sat like 14 inches off the ground, and I was like, "How are these guys doing this?" Like, and I cut the nose on the sides, how everybody was cutting them to get it to fold back to the fenders, and it just flared the fenders out like a late model. And I was
So
like,
you
"This
just
looks."
take it off and throw it away?
I put it in the storage unit, and I bought a new one, and it bolted right on. I didn't even have to move the fenders or nothing.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
We got a couple new people. Jimmy
Oh.
Brozek's watching.
No, Jimmy.
Marvin Griffin Jr., Mike Pfeiffer,
Dustin Frenier's on there.
Tim Gassman's watching. Tim,
Hey,
I
Timmy.
need to call you. I've
Curtis.
been wanting to talk to you for
Curtis Barnes.
Hey, Curtis.
And Dylan's got to thank Curtis.
Barney.
Yeah.
He took a wadded up beer. He took a wadded up beer can and made
you
a
see
race
that
car
last
out of
year?
it.
What'd you do?
Well, it was towards the end of the year, and I
Got
want to
beat
say
up.
like maybe 2 shows before championship night. I T-boned I don't remember who it was now, but turned the left frame horn all the way into the tire, almost 90 degreed it, pulled the right one over about 45 degrees, and I took it to Curtis, and he made that thing almost perfect. And I made it, I wanted to just go out championship night, and then they rained out that year.
Ah.
So then I ran it at the Clash, and that was the best it ever drove after it was all bent up.
Well, see, here's the deal about Curtis. He's had lots of practice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you ever
With his
been
own
up
stuff.
if you ever been up a race car, go see
Yeah.
Curtis
Go
at
see
Anderson
Curtis.
Body Shop. He will fix you up.
He does good.
He's
job.
got that
does.
thing almost perfect now.
Curtis says, "What's up, guys?"
Yeah, it's nice to have a guy that races,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
to have
Yeah.
a place like that to go because he knows what they're supposed to look like. And he
When
does a good job.
When I picked it up, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "There's no way."
So tell me, after you bend one, is it faster?
I thought it drove better. after I put the right pitman arm back on it, I bent the pitman arm. The steering box
Right.
was junk, all that. So I got a steering box, got a pitman arm. Well, we went out to practice for the Clash, and about rubbed a hole all the way through the oil pan. And now you just have to use a floor jack to get the drag link into the car because it's still a little bit tweaked. But other than that, use a floor jack and the drag link will go on and it steers like a
Steers
dream.
like a dream. Curtis says, "How much is all this BS going to cost me?" We'll come see you over the winter, right?
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to. That's
There you
bad
go.
for him, but good for me.
So you're going to roll out with the same car?
The same car, yeah.
Okay. You too?
Maybe.
Uh-oh,
Maybe.
something in the
We'll see.
works,
Yeah,
huh?
maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
We'll
that's
see.
fine. We don't
I
need to
know.
drag it out again.
IMCA got him
Same
off
car.
flush.
Yeah,
Same car.
Same car. Why they got you flustered?
Well, it just when I finally made the switch to IMCA, it was the crate motor deal, and I've always liked building our own motors.
Yeah.
And I finally got to the point, I got to do something different. I was out there racing an open motor against the crates, and it wasn't working, so I decided to get away from it and go to the sport mod deal this year. This is my first year in a sport mod, was this last year. And then IMCA came out with that spec motor deal today, and I think, I don't know, I feel like that's going to change the playing field a little bit. I think that spec motor deal might work pretty good. But
Okay.
so yeah, ever since I seen that today, I was kicking
So you're
myself.
drooling? You
I was
think you
kicking
want one of
myself
them
in the
spec
ass
motor
for
things?
yeah.
He needs more horsepower.
Yeah.
Needs more horsepower.
yes.
Everybody, listen. Racers live by one motto, okay? Some's good,
Yeah.
more's better. Too much ought to be just right.
Oh yeah.
Right? No?
And I remember that. Yeah, I remember when the first time I got in that sport mod, and it was like, man, somebody must have unhooked 4 of the spark plugs. I was like, surely these things are faster than that. And I mean, it just felt like a turd. It's like compared to what I was used to being in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
And
with me though in a sport mod being the only car I've ever driven, I feel like I'm in a spaceship.
But there's a big difference when you race a car and then you get an actual stock car. The car I started in was something we bought in southeast Kansas.
Oh boy.
It was essentially, well, you know Tyler Kidwell.
Yeah.
So they were building factory stocks. I
Hobby
think that's what they were
stocks.
called. Well, it's essentially a hobby stock. And Dalton and I attempted to convert it to a stock car. You know, it had weight jacks. We put all that in there, cut all the rear stuff out of it, and then it just didn't handle worth a darn. It pushed like a dump truck every single time. And I mean, it just wouldn't work.
Wait a minute. They always told me when it pushed like a dump truck is you wouldn't drive it in the corners hard enough.
Well, and then I did drive it in the corners hard enough, and I'd hit a tire. 'Cause I'd spin out.
I seen him do it at Wichita and hit the wall.
Yeah, I went right in the corner, and I was like, heck with it, I'm just going to drive it deep in the corner. I did, and right into the concrete. And that was
So it
the
didn't
first
work,
night.
right?
Nope. That was the first night, and I managed with it, and then I got this new car, and the first night out in it, the old car had a quickener on it, it had stock steering box. First corner at Salina with this new car, turn one. I just turned it like I did the other one. I cranked the wheel and I was staring at the moon because that thing turned on a dime and I was not expecting that.
But it's fun when it works right, ain't
It
it?
is fun.
We got a couple. Dylan, you still have my MST box.
You know, that guy right there,
Yeah.
Rick Rogers, I've needed a couple things every now and again, and he has it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rick is good.
I'll get that to
He's
you
good people.
Saturday.
Rick's a good dude,
Oh
isn't
my
he?
He
goodness,
is.
he is.
And then Jimmy Brozek says, hi, guys.
Old Jimmy.
Do you guys all work out of the same shop, or you got your own shops, or?
Their stuff is in one and mine's in another.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't have room for three, so.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Well, you know, I met these guys. Well, I've known them, watched them, but I met them at Hayes.
Right.
Ryan had problems, fuel pump failure. Nick hooked him up, fixed that problem. But we started talking to you, and Ryan started talking to you, and then Ryan made the decision to go to Hutch, which for Ryan was probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
he was going to be starting dead last in the last chance qualifier, and you'd had to get up on the wheel.
There was some good cars.
There was lots of good. You know, some of us, and I'll speak for some of us, just never have any luck in Hayes for whatever reason.
You got to draw good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
got to
walked into that night drawing a 198 out of 200, and
Awesome.
or 197, and I said, I am going home tonight. There is no way I can get up there.
Ryan drew well, I can't remember, he started towards the front, if not the front, but in a lap and a half, somebody drilled him in the left front. You guys saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can't win him on the first lap.
No. I was that guy once. I tried to win him on the first lap, but yeah.
How long did it take you to learn patience?
The first time I got my ass chewed,
Who got you?
Mike Burian.
Yeah. It was just Dalton and I leaving the racetrack that night, and he was scared to get out of the truck to get some food because he thought Mike and Mark were gonna beat him up.
Yeah, I did.
I was nervous
I
too.
did.
You thought you were going to get it?
I didn't even do anything. I was just changing tires.
Oh, I just drove flat out.
It's
Right
all-
in the
it's
corner,
good.
yeah,
It
flat
don't
ass into
matter.
the corner, and I doored him. And it was at 81 Speedway, and I remember I was like, I hit him right in the door, and he went all the way up over the racetrack. And I didn't see him again until I see him at the Quick Shop in Hutch, like the next week. And I was like, "Are you gonna
Hey.
whip my ass?" He's like, "No, Nick. I've been friends with those guys ever since. They're great guys.
Mike and Mark helped me a lot.
Yeah, those guys are great. But,
That's funny.
yeah.
He had that old Nova car, and it was black, red, yellow, all different colors. And C-Ray told him, paint that thing or don't bring it back.
Was that ugly?
It was
Oh, it
pretty
was
ugly.
hideous. I had duct tape numbers on it and everything. My
I was
first night
feeling,
out.
he bought that thing from Aaron Rail.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Aaron raced that with my dad back in the late
Oh, my
90s.
gosh.
He bought that thing, and I was in there peeling vinyl off. That's been on there for darn near 20 years.
That's almost
and-
impossible.
Well, Leaf Spring Nova.
Yeah.
So you drove a Leaf Spring Nova?
Yeah, it was a Leafer. Yep.
Any of you guys ever drove a Leaf Spring car?
They haven't.
Just
Uh-uh.
him.
Really, just
Yep,
you?
Just me. Yep.
That's an experience.
That is an experience. You don't realize. You know, I went from a Leaf Spring Nova to a USRA, or it was an NCRA at the time, NCRA A mod. And so I didn't just step up to a coil spring car and then step up.
Yeah.
You know, I went from that Leaf car to that, and it was like, what was I doing? I mean, but yeah, that thing was old. The way they work, I mean, just yeah,
Suspension. Oh man.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Goals for next year. What do you got?
hopefully win a damn race. You know,
You'll get
I
one.
was close.
You'll
you know,
get one.
or championship night.
Yeah.
Had Scott Miller not been there, I probably would have had my first one too.
He is tough to beat.
Well, you know,
That guy is
I
good.
started fourth. He was on the outside of the front row, and I started fourth. And whatever reason, first took off, and then I just followed Scott, and I was in second. And every lap, he got further and further and further away.
And you're like,
and then
damn.
Tim Watts had pulled up beside me at one point, and I was focused on that. I was like, I don't want him to pass me. And then Scott's gone. I'm like, and then I look up, going down the straightaway. I was like, how many more laps are left? Because it was hammered down. I was tired. And there was like 4 laps left, and Scott's nowhere to be seen. I said, I'm either leading this thing and I don't know it, or Scott is a long ways out there. Well, after he took the checkered flag, I was waiting for him to say 19D to victory lane, and I pull around and he said 19D to the scales, 1 to victory lane, and yada yada yada. And I was like, damn it. He was 7.5 seconds ahead of me, and I was in second.
Goals for you.
Me, I'd like to finally get her done at least once and win an A feature. I just want to try to run more shows, get more seat time.
Sure.
I get pretty busy in the summer with my job, so
Seat time's tough. I mean, it just is tough because, and we say this almost every show, we spend so much time working on these cars throughout the week, paying attention to details, but what do you get? 20 minutes in the seat at a race night at the most?
Race night. Yeah, you do spend a lot. It's a lot of time and a lot of money just to get in it for a little bit.
But it's fun.
It's a
It's
damn
fun.
lot of fun. Yeah.
What about you?
I'd like to
Goals?
find some consistency.
Would ya?
It seems like every time I got in that thing this year, wanted to do something different. So it felt like I had to change up the driving style almost every week just to figure the thing out. I didn't do anything what I wanted until I won the A feature the last night of the year. But other than that, just something consistent.
I just got a message. Your first race was the night before you graduated high school.
Oh boy, yeah. You should have seen my mom when she seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty good. Yeah.
Is Michelle your mom?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
she is.
She's
She says something. Yeah, yeah. My first night out, that morning, the car was nowhere near ready to go, and we had things to do that day, and I had to graduate the next day. We had a graduation to go to that day, and I remember walking in, and I told Mom or Dylan or somebody's like, I think I'm gonna go race tonight.
Yeah.
And
We did, and it wasn't pretty.
it was a thrash fest. I remember we finished a graduation there in Nickerson, cousin's graduation. I had to go down. I had one thing left to finish. I needed a throttle return spring. I had the car down at Dean Bontrager's shop. A throttle return spring and a bracket. I cut a door hinge in half, and I bolted out the front of the cylinder head. I put a spring on it, and then I think the hardest part was loading it on the trailer because I was in such a hurry. I didn't have the trailer latched onto the ball, so I had to load the car with the clutch, and the trailer come up off the ball, hit the tailgate of my pickup.
In between the tailgate and the bumper.
And then, so that was just getting to the racetrack my first night. And then I get there, and we couldn't get the car off the trailer. And it was like, we had no idea what we were doing. And, I had the headers hung up on the trailer. The headers were all bent up, trying to get it off the trailer. And,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, and I actually ended up taking it to my graduation the next day because I hadn't had time to load nothing. And, yeah, I did. I went racing.
He
my
pulled
first
out
one.
on the track off turn 4 at 81. Monster trucked over the top of it as they were taking the green flag going down the front
I didn't
straight.
even know how to shift the car into gear yet. I didn't even know I had no idea what I was doing. I had a borrowed helmet, borrowed fire suit, gloves that were barely, it was crazy.
Anything to go race, right?
I was going racing. I had my
I
mindset
get
up.
it.
I was going.
So, with your dad racing, your mom ever tell you guys not to do it?
Oh, she's never said not do it.
She's all for it.
It's
Yeah.
your,
She
it's
likes
your
us to have
money.
fun.
That's
It's your
what she
money.
says.
Yeah.
They
It's
could
your money.
have told us not to do it.
We
but
would've
that
done
wasn't
it
gonna,
anyway.
that was going to happen anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
That goes in one ear and right out the
Yeah.
other.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some moms don't like it.
Yeah.
She videotapes every race.
Does
for
she
us.
really?
Yeah.
She gets very nervous, but
she does.
She does
Yeah.
it.
Last year I about got upside down there once, and that's pretty comical. Climb the wall at the fairgrounds, that's
Yeah.
comical.
Yeah.
But we can go back and watch every race since she videotapes.
That's cool.
So is she one that somebody needs to be videotaping her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be pretty good.
Yep.
But
And we've got people that can't make it, every week, so they watch too. So,
Oh, yeah. It's a commitment.
yeah.
it is a commitment.
And not just for the drivers of the race, it's a commitment to go
Oh, man.
help.
Yep.
So, talking about crazy things going on at the track, you have any crazy stuff going on to the track? I mean, you ever lose your trailer? Have a car fall off?
We pass the road every single time we're on the way to Salina where Scott Miller's car come off the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And I look back every time I'm going by that rest stop and make sure everything looks okay. Every time.
That was bad for him.
Yeah, that was a bad deal. I mean,
I think the only weird thing I've ever had go, I left the track one night, and this was my first year, my
This
first
is
car,
funny.
and I wired it myself. And I never had a problem with it. Well, I was leaving 81 Speedway one night, and I was turning out of Maze onto the highway, and I said, what is that noise? And I rolled the window down, and the car was back there cranking it over. It was just sitting there cranking it. I had melted wires between. It was a disaster.
Oh, gee.
And then I had to end up unhooking the battery on the side of the highway so the car wouldn't crank over on the way home. So I'd say that was the only interesting thing I had. But
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a lot more stories by the time you're done.
I'm sure.
you know, knock on
your
wood,
dad-
nobody's had a blowout on a trailer or anything like that yet. So
Bobby had to chase a race car down one time coming back from Colorado. Coming back or going out?
Coming back. Yeah.
Blowed the engine up in it, and it somehow come unhooked. You know the story better than I do. You lived it.
Came off the trailer and going down interstate,
Oh, shit.
crossed the other lane, and
Oh.
went up out into the field.
you
How
know,
long
that
did it take you to find it?
Well, we got back and a truck driver stopped, and my dad,
You didn't even realize you lost it.
oh yeah, because
Oh.
it passed us.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, he slowed down when he seen it was an open trailer, and yeah, it passed us. And a truck driver stopped to see if he could help. My dad says, "No, we're just making a movie."
What Austin say on there?
Dalton isn't allowed to
Yeah,
wire.
Austin O. Miller has saved me since the day that he has wired all my cars.
Oh yeah.
Ever since, yeah, that Austin, he's good. He's wired all my cars since then. So,
Your dad said your mom grew up at Hutch.
Yep.
So
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
At the fairground, the local,
HRP.
yeah, Hudson Raceway
Yeah.
Park.
I
That's one.
like that place.
That's one that I wish I could have raced at. Was
I liked
we grew
it.
up going out there every now and then, and I wish I could have raced there at least once.
And if the fairgrounds thing didn't work out, I would hope Phil would do something with that place. But
I always
think
figured that
it's-
would be an option.
I think it's, I mean, if you drive by, it's still there.
Yep.
The racetrack is still there. It's used to
Are
have
the
cows on
buildings
it.
really falling apart?
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, they
Oh,
tore
yeah.
down all the bleachers and all the
Oh,
buildings.
did they really? I
Yeah.
always thought the bleachers in the concession stands were way cool.
There's one building that's still standing over there, but that's about it.
In the early days, the pits had water and electricity.
Really?
that was a nice place.
It was.
Yeah, somebody's got a Facebook page, the Hudson Raceway Park Memories. You on that at all? You need to jump on there and check that out. They've been
They got
posting
pictures
pictures. Yeah, so like every so many days they've been posting 20, 30 pictures of from 2000 maybe up through until the last time they closed. It's pretty cool to see some of those.
Look at that.
I think the way racing's evolved, the race cars, the way they've evolved, you know, even from the time I was, even in high school when I started racing 7 years ago to what they've evolved today is crazy. I mean,
It's my honest opinion, and just my opinion, that the modifieds, you guys
Yeah.
want to call them A-mods or whatever, I think the technology in some of those cars has gone way past our dirt tracks.
oh, it's every bit of it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, all the
With the spring smashers and all the data acquisition stuff that these guys got these days.
Isn't that crazy?
Everybody
Yeah.
talks about a load stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
load sticks.
No, you put the spring in there and put the shock on and just go.
Just go.
That's what I do. I don't.
I like
you know.
I like the load stick stuff.
I'm not buying that thing. It's like $600.
Yeah.
And you know, they'll say it makes you go faster, but I just roll.
You just put the spring,
Just
and go.
set the right height, put the shock on, and just
go.
go.
What do you run? What's your shock package?
BSB.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
I got with Jay last winter, and he's helped me out a lot. And he's really good.
Isn't
too.
he good?
He's really good.
I use Tanner Black
Okay.
out there, and it's all CPD
Where's
stuff.
he at now?
He's at like Otis. I think he's at Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
But-
right across the street from my bank out there.
Okay, yeah, Tanner Black, he's really good. And the only reason that I'm running those shocks for one is because when I bought my first car, those are what came on it. They've been on there since. I mean, I get them freshened up and redone.
Well,
but,
sure.
But that's what I started with. That's kind of what I've always been on. So.
You?
I've got FX shocks off his stock car.
Yeah. They were still good, so I said,
Take them.
they're decent. You know, they didn't leak.
He's
so.
my brother and still made me buy him.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was trying to put one together, a new car together, so.
Barnes, Dalton, I heard Greenlee was posting your cars so she can get a ring.
Oh boy!
First she must cook and first she must clean.
Yeah, she's sitting right over there. Yeah, she actually, I actually taught her how to drive that thing this year.
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
she drove it around the pits at Hayes.
So here's the deal.
That's what they need, a powder puff race
Well,
again.
I'm just getting ready to tell you, if you come race at Concordia, at the last race of the year, they have powder puff mechanic races.
I might have to put together a spare car for that deal, but
A spare car.
I think we can find a sport compact.
yeah,
from
the
somebody.
main gun probably won't get used, but I'd sure find a way to make that happen.
Maybe like a 3,000 chip rule for that.
Yeah.
Stock Cars T-boned 2 people out there.
Really?
And I was like, ooh, that's gotta hurt.
In the powder puff deal?
Uh-huh.
My thing, but what I said about somebody driving my car is I'm going to tear the hell out of it first before I let somebody else have the chance to do it. Well, I done tore it up, so it's...
Your dad said he built his car from just the front stub resting on jacks.
Yeah, they didn't have jigs back then. Well,
That's the
not
way
the
we
way
did
they
it in the early
That's how,
days.
yeah, they said they always built them from right there on the shop floor.
Yep. My dad built a lot of cars.
Well, you probably remember Chris Mays, don't you?
Yep.
So Chris Mays and Dad,
Yep.
that's kind of how they all got started. Was they both ran together.
There was a guy that raced Salina, Mark Younger, and he drove the street stock. I think that's what they called it way back then.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 66 Chevelle, okay? And he built it from scratch in his garage. And that car was fast. Well, Mark helped me build my first car way back before you guys were ever even thought of. But we had some fun down at HRP with that.
Yeah. Man, I'd love to.
I vaguely remember
Yeah.
the races there.
Super Dave's watching.
Hi, Dave.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's the rule enforcer.
That's him.
That is him.
Yeah. Super
He was
Dave
out-
is watching.
I saw him out at, I talked to him out at Hayes this year. It's the first time I seen him at a track just because of where I was.
He was at Salina several times, wasn't
Yeah.
He what?
he? He was at
Yeah.
Salina several times.
Yep. He was
Yeah.
The last night of the year, he was there hurting feelings.
Yep.
He was there what?
Hurting feelings.
Hurting feelings? Yeah.
I was glad he did not hurt mine.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Dave.
Yeah, he's very, very
His
knowledgeable.
favorite saying is know what you own.
Yeah. That is no joke.
Don't pull in the deck lane and the guy leans in the window and he says, okay, put it in gear. Let me see it move. Don't tell him you don't know what you got because he'll tear it apart.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. I
That's
got
all
all
right.
night.
Keep him honest.
Yep.
So you guys, none of you got your feelings hurt this year?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Well, I kind of did when I got pushed to the back. You know, there in the middle of the year, old Bam Bam and I had a little altercation, and that was a funny deal watching it back on Dirt Ground.
Really?
I don't know who the announcer was. I don't know if it was Jamie or who it was, but they said, "Boy, that 19D just sure didn't lift the gas pedal." I said, "You're damn right I didn't, because they don't lift it for me." And then I got punished for it. And then we both went to the back, and we both finished exactly where we were before we got sent back there.
I'm sitting here trying to think of some questions.
Well, let's ask you some. How about that? You gonna get back behind the wheel?
I never did race.
You never did? I thought you raced for a little bit. You never did?
Raced go-karts.
Okay, I thought that somebody had said. I heard somebody make a comment in the pits one night, like, "Bob, you gonna wheel it or what or something?" So I didn't know. Got,
I just
you, just been fascinated
helped
with
my
it.
dad ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
Build cars and stuff. And
Gotcha.
yeah, I seen how expensive things were, and I
Oh,
couldn't
man.
afford it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I never got
you
the
took the
kids.
smart path.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I would have just helped.
What about you? You ever gonna try to drive one again? At least
Man.
get in it, hot lap it, do something?
Oh, Ryan let me hot lap one of his cars a couple years ago, and I was not comfortable in his stock car.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy what the way the stock cars drive.
Oh yeah.
I drove an IMCA stock car at a Wichita race one night, and I had a lot of fun with that.
I would be lying to you if I told you I didn't want to, but it's just not in the cards now.
Yeah. You have more fun doing what you're doing.
Well, yeah.
Different avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss it. Terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh God. And
Yeah.
I live in a shop. I mean, I do. I
Yeah.
could build one.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of ran out of room.
You did?
Yeah.
You got some stuff in there?
Yeah, he's got some stuff.
I got some stuff. Junk.
Huh.
No.
I want to say hi. Tyler Davis got on, Jeremy Edberg, and Linda Kendall is watching. So thanks, guys.
Pam Chambers poster.
That's our
You're
engineer.
Pam?
Yeah.
She went to several races way back in the day at HRP.
Yeah, it was a popular place back.
It
sounds
was.
like back then.
Really, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Bobby and I went there one night and watched a drunk guy tumble down out of the stands.
Probably grandpa.
Yeah. So hopefully it wasn't any of our relation.
So you want to win a race or two? What else? What else you guys want to do? What do you want to accomplish?
Oh
I
man.
want to race kind of a couple of them shows up in Nebraska.
Really?
They're at Eagle and what's the other one? I can't even think
Beatrice.
of it. Beatrice.
Oh, Beatrice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to go hit some of those other tracks.
I think
when they're
Boone sounds fun, but I don't want to finish last in a Z main up there. So if I wanted to embarrass myself, I'd just stay home and race here.
Go race Hunt
Yeah.
or go race Hayes again?
Out of all the racetracks I've been to, I would say Marshalltown is probably the raciest racetrack I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Consistent.
That's black dirt.
That's that
They
dirt.
got-
I was
I
going
was
to
gonna say,
say,
they got
there's
black
some
dirt.
different dirt
Yeah.
up there, man.
That is the
Yeah.
raciest place I have ever seen. Crazy.
I've seen a lot of videos from there.
They got it going on. Yep.
Well, and then Jerry, he's the promoter of that,
Yep.
isn't he? That's what I thought.
Yep.
So you're almost going to a comedy show if you're going to
Oh,
race
yeah.
there more than anything.
Yep.
Are you talking about Van Sickle?
Yeah.
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 No doubt.
Yeah, that guy. He can. Yeah, he's fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Especially when he gives old Cam Gruber a hard
We got,
time.
Oh,
got
the
fans.
mayor of Munger.
The mayor of Munger. Yeah, I hope if Cam ever watches, I get a kick out of that.
we got famous there.
Did you?
That's where Brian lost his left front tire and ran the whole race,
yeah.
the whole B feature. Finished
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
I remember.
That's
That
still
video
on
is on
YouTube.
YouTube.
It is on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
Out
seen
there.
that.
What's his last name?
nail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
he used to get so pissed at me when I'd bring that up to him. Now he laughs about it.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
So somebody's girlfriend's over here.
That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's over there hanging out. She had to drive us over here so we could do this.
So you could do your thing,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
She's always along for the ride.
So you graduate in December. What are you going to do next?
I hopefully find a new job.
A new job.
Yeah, I've got an open door right now, and I'm hoping
You're
to.
looking for something.
Yep.
Okay.
It's in the works.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have a nicer race car.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Not for 25. Well,
You going to stay where you're at?
I'm a day-to-day. I'm an agronomist by day, so I check fields and look at crops and make recommendations. And so,
You know, the drought we've been in, that had to be tough.
but it's very tough. It is very tough. The last 3 years have been quite tricky. So,
One of my customers up north around Beloit lost 2 crops, one of corn and one of wheat.
yeah, I don't doubt it.
Wouldn't grow.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
that they're getting some rain, he's pretty excited.
yeah, that's one thing, about my job versus racing. When it rains and there's a rain out, I'm not necessarily bummed because it sure makes going to work the next day a hell of a lot
That's right.
easier.
Somebody's
But,
crops are growing. We're all happy.
I was gonna say, it's always
What about you?
What's that?
You can stay with your job you're at now?
Well, I guess I got one more week to go and then I start a new one.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was paying attention.
yeah.
You want to do some different tracks next year? You
Yeah.
want to try out Boone?
yeah, I'd like
Have
to.
you
just
been
go
there?
I went this year.
Did
just
you
to
race?
watch. No,
Oh,
just
okay.
watched.
What about you?
I've never been up there.
They charge too much
To race or to watch?
to do anything up there. You got to charge to use the bathroom. Not really, but you might as well for everything else.
Where's that?
Boone.
Boone. You got to pay to park. You got to pay to sit in the special seating area on the top of turn 1. Well, I wasn't getting there at 3 o'clock in the morning to have a seat up there. I was sleeping because, well, actually, it was probably still at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Especially Thursday night.
Right.
That's the fun night.
What about you? You want to try some different tracks too?
Yeah, I'd like to go to that Concordia deal. That would be fun. I think I'm trying to think what else is there. IMCA
One of the
tracks.
Colby or
Yeah, Colby or
track
Goodland deal would be cool to go make a swing out through there.
It's going to be a different year. You got Hutch
Yeah,
on Friday night.
Friday
Yeah.
nights.
You got
about twice a
Salina
month.
twice a month. You got Salina every Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got Concordia
Concordia
every
on
other Sunday. What else you got, Bob?
As far as right here, then Hayes is going. I mean, I haven't seen.
I haven't seen their schedule. I don't know. Has Dodge released their schedule?
Dodge released their schedule,
They did?
or they're getting. No, I think they did release it, or they're getting ready to. Kyler had posted something, and I think he mentioned it at the banquet for Salt City.
That is a nice facility.
It is.
It is.
That is a really nice
I
facility.
raced out there when it was asphalt.
Really?
I was
I've seen
trying
some.
out
I've seen
something.
some old videos of that place.
Wow, it was bad. Oh my God, it was fun.
It was
Yeah.
really weird though.
It's a
Kind
different.
of like 81 Speedway. I felt like I was in a huge hole.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it was just
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
It was fun though.
They got a High Plains sprint car show.
I seen that.
Yes, high limit. Yep.
That'll be big.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Rick Salem passed away last week.
Yeah, we need to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him.
Rick was a good guy.
He
Yeah.
was. I listened to him a lot on the race receiver. He didn't take no shit.
No, he didn't. No,
Yeah.
no. Rick,
I'm glad. I like what he did with that 305. Sprint cars are my favorite race cars. I mean,
Really?
everybody will give me a hell of a hard time for that. But
He's got one too. That's the funny part.
I do.
You
I
do?
do. I do. I have one of Bontrager's old chassis, but I know.
Greenlee
Rick-
says no.
Yeah.
I see that look. She's like, look.
Oh,
I see. She's saying no.
It's going to
already.
happen. It's going to happen. Just win. But
She must not like sprint cars.
She doesn't.
you know what Rick did with that 305 program and bringing that back, that fell off wherever. I mean, they weren't even running in Kansas at all.
Yeah, there was-
And then Rick really brought that thing back.
It's weird because there was a group of them out in western Kansas.
Yeah.
But Rick kind of brought them in forefront to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like Zach Blurton and all those. There's a
Yeah.
few up there on the north part, and then all the guys down by Liberal, and then
Yep.
I think Kyler took it over like the last 2 years now.
Yeah,
And then
Midgets left Belleville and they took on that 305s.
yeah.
And that brought them.
And that 305 show is huge at
That's a good
Belleville.
show.
I mean,
Yeah.
in just a few years, that's
Rick
turned.
did a great job, and sad to see his passing. It really was.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
Then he took over the late models series last
Yep.
summer. He really didn't get a chance to grow that. So yeah, it's kind of sad.
Dad says, and I don't know who he's talking to, you can always become a firefighter.
That's what Dad does. That's his
Yeah.
That's
dad
what
by
he
day.
does?
He's a
Yeah.
full-time
Really?
firefighter. Yeah.
For
City of Hutch.
City of Hutch?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a tough job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He wants y'all three to be firefighters, huh? Or just you?
Not me. Probably Dallas.
Probably me if I had to guess.
Really?
Yeah.
There's worse things to do.
No, yeah.
Who's the most competitive out of you
Will
three?
Hedberg.
Oh, Will. He's one. He's one of my growers. Will's a good guy. Will's gonna bring. Speaking of Will, you remember Will Hedberg? He drove a Mod Light there for a couple years.
I probably know him.
Yeah, he ran
That's
around.
right.
He's going to be making his debut in the sport mod. So
Oh, yeah? Cool.
he'll be back out on the track here maybe in
Nice.
25. So
Good.
hopefully so.
So who's the most competitive out of you three?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think it's probably all as equal as driven.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm sure to get pretty tight between Dallas and I in the same class.
What would it be if all three of you drove in the same class?
I'd wreck him.
A shit show. An absolute. We would all three be in different shops.
You didn't even have to think about that.
No, I'd wreck him.
I'd
If it meant for first, if it was first and second, and I had the chance to win it, I'd wreck him.
I'd
So
be.
you're the guy that would wreck your mom for first, right?
Yeah, if he
Wouldn't ya?
if he was a cop, he'd give our mom a ticket.
I got you figured out. You ought to get your mom a car.
No,
No.
Jesus. Yeah,
I've seen her drive. It was a.
I've seen her ride a bicycle.
I've seen her drive a Scat Pack Challenger that my buddy rented for prom. She hopped in the driver's seat. It was a stick. I didn't know she could drive stick either. And
Surprised you didn't she?
she scared the shit out of me.
We were test driving a car in Derby at Don Hatton, and she test drove a 2015 Challenger as a V6 and a 2016 Camaro SS with paddle shifters, and we were going down Rock Road at 80 miles an hour in like third gear, and I was like, what in the hell? No. Dad quickly decided that she was not getting that car that day.
So what does she drive now?
The Challenger, and it's a 6-cylinder.
The 6-cylinder
Yeah.
Challenger?
Calvin Davis just got on, so
Hey,
We
Calvin.
got Stanley Oaks on
Oh,
there
yeah.
too.
Oaks
Big Stan.
Farms.
Who else is on there?
Jeremy Hegbert said he was there the night that we watched the guy tumble down out of the pits. He said the guy never spilt a drop of his beer. I just thought he was dead down there at the bottom.
What happened?
I wonder.
At HRP. when-
We were at HRP one night. Bobby and I went down there. We'd go down and help him score or something, and we were in the stands watching, and this guy tumbled out of the bleachers with a beer in his hand.
Wow.
Racers.
Yeah.
Gotta love them, right?
Yeah.
So if you weren't driving race cars, what would you do?
Probably be at the lake all
Probably,
the
I was
time.
gonna say, I'd probably spend a lot more time at the lake.
Okay.
I'd definitely be hunting and fishing more.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you guys do any sports in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all did.
What'd you do?
Football.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I didn't play much in high school, but after that,
Who'd you play for?
Hutch High.
Hutch High?
And then just middle school.
Same with you
Yeah.
guys? What'd
Yeah.
you do?
I played football for
Football?
Hutch. Yep. And-
You're tall. I figured you'd be basketball.
No, I did not
You
like
looked
basketball.
at me like I was crazy or something.
He'd trip over it, not dribble it with his hand.
Yeah, I was not a basketball. I never was excited about basketball.
So with your height, do you have a hard time getting in a race car?
That has honestly been the biggest struggle of every car I've ever owned.
Trying to get the
They
halo
they
and
do
stuff
they
tied?
do not build enough cars for tall
Tall
guys.
boys, they don't.
Yeah, my first modified I didn't fit in. My first stock car, yeah. Honestly, probably this first class that I got has fit me the best out of them all. They just
I think Mike builds a little taller car.
he
Mike's
does.
tall. Look at him.
He is a very. That's what I say. He builds a taller car, and it's been the one I've been the most comfortable sitting in. And so, yeah.
So what about you? What'd you do? Did you play any sports?
Football and baseball.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Calvin says agreed, so we must be thinking about the height thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to put my seat on a 4-inch piece of steel so I could see over the steering wheel.
You're shitting me.
I'm not the floor pan in that medieval car falls down in the back.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was looking at it, and I put the seat in there, and there was no way I couldn't even see over the dash.
You
So
know,
I put a-
so you made the comment about the seat being too low and you had to raise it, and then you're leaning forward in your seat to get to your pedals.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get somebody to build you a set of blocks for your pedals.
Oh, we had to do it in Dallas's car one time. Yeah, that was a 2x4 in the back of a roll of duct tape because we had about 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
I got the
That's
figured out I
hilarious.
couldn't get the brake pedal down far enough, and Stacy Huffman blew up in front of me at Hutch National. My first ever night in a race car. I
Yeah.
drove right up the rear end of her. I'm pretty sure my bumper hit the rear end of her car.
Yeah, she blew up, and I said, "You don't follow the trail of smoke," and he followed that thing
Trail,
perfectly. And on the other side was a car.
Yeah, that's two things you don't follow: is smoke or the trail of oil. Get
Yeah.
out the way. You ever been hurt? Any of you in a race car?
No, I was
And
pretty
I don't
shaken
want
up.
I don't want you to. but-
Yeah,
I was
I
pretty
don't think
shaken
so.
up after last year's incident, but it was
Where
not
at?
bad. At Salina.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, when you almost went on your top.
No, when I hit that other person.
Oh yeah.
Tore the frame all out.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
That one hurt pretty bad.
No, I don't think I've ever.
Well, I don't want it to happen to any of you guys.
I've
It's
tore
just-
up a lot of shit, but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
good.
I've always got out of it.
Dalton's got that FA addiction.
I don't even know what that means.
What are you talking about?
Connor Barnes, you're gonna have to elaborate.
Addition. FA addition. What do you mean, Connor?
Yeah, well, Connor's gonna have to elaborate on that one. Old CB, he's quite the wheel man, isn't he? Connor?
Connor.
He's a wee. I like Connor. Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah.
He needs to go show his dad up in the Amon class.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
it is.
He needs more.
Yeah, he does. He,
All right,
he'd do
guys,
really
same
well in
question for all of you. A feature time, getting ready to roll out on track. I don't care where it's at. getting ready to roll out on the track. You're going to go around once, tighten up your belts, make sure everything's ready. What are you thinking about? What's in your brain? At Hutch, you got a long time to think about this.
Golly.
Thanks.
Oh, golly.
So what are you thinking about?
I'm not gonna wreck with them.
You're not going to wreck with
Nope.
it? Are you
I
looking
will-
at the guys around you, thinking what you're going to do?
I look at who I'm starting next to every time, and I know what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna let them go on the start, or I'm gonna try and get away.
Okay. Well, that's your two options. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's I've probably looking out ahead, like what, just making sure the start's gonna be clean, and that's one thing that I tend to kind of hang back a little bit on the start. I don't ever get up in there because those guys start brake checking, doing dumb shit.
I hate brake check starts.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God.
Everybody. It seemed I've ran into it worse back when I was racing at 81 Speedway in that thumper class. It's like everybody take off. Everybody stand on the brakes.
Yeah.
And I knocked a hole in a radiator one night because of that, because everybody's jumping on the brakes. And I don't like that shit.
What about you?
Don't cause the wreck.
Don't cause a wreck.
There's especially towards the beginning of the year, where it seemed like I'd always start on the pole of the heat race or the A feature, and I tend to spin it out. And I'd see cars coming head on, and I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah.
So,
That's got to be a scary deal.
Oh,
Sitting
yeah.
there watching cars come at you.
especially as a rookie driver, spinning out in front of everybody, and you're just
I've
like,
done
hey,
that. I've
you
done
can't
that.
help it,
I
but-
spun out under caution once.
Oh, don't. I spun out on the parade lap. Drilled a tire at the bottom of Slime Speedway with my late model. I could hear people screaming, what were you fucking thinking?
Oh yeah, I could hear them in my helmet when I did it. I spun out, caused a caution, and I was trying to catch back up, and I spun out again. Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Oh yeah, it was my first year. I heard the fans and everybody. I seen their hands being thrown in the air, and it was just like, why don't you get in here and drive?
Yeah, get in here with me. Try this.
I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
Bill,
Uh-oh.
Josh Vogt is watching us.
I didn't think he was alive.
About 3 years ago,
So he hasn't been behind the wheel in a while.
we tried to get Josh on our show, and he travels everywhere
Yep.
working. And okay, I'm coming. Well, I'm gonna be there. And his wife ended up having a baby, and we're like, out of all the excuses, you got to use that, but she really did. Yeah. So.
And every time we had him scheduled, we get to almost showtime, and he couldn't make it. I'm like, Bob, quit yanking my chain.
Josh he's watching.
Hey, Josh. You know what? I think he did finally make it.
He did finally.
Yeah.
He did finally.
Oh, check this out. Who's this? Kennedy Kanaj?
Ren.
Kanaj? Who is it?
Kanoki.
Kanoki? Kennedy Kanoki. Dylan is the tractor tire whisperer.
Dylan mowed down more tractor tires in his first year. So.
They don't move, man.
No, they didn't. They're almost as tall as the damn race car, too.
They're taller than you are.
Yeah.
Well,
They-
yeah, but if you don't have your left front that high in the
I
ground,
know.
No, it was in the old car. I haven't hit. I've gotten high centered on one in this car, just a little one, but not those big ones at Salina. Man, I hit that, and it was the same tire every time. It was the middle tire in between 3 and 4 every time.
Dad just laid down the gauntlet.
Yeah, I need a track champion.
Yeah.
I agree.
I got second.
2025, we need a track champion for Chambers Racing.
He's
Who's going to do
he's
it?
gonna
It'll be one of those two.
He's
It'll
gonna
be
be
one of those
closest.
two.
I
I don't
had a
race
second
enough.
and third this year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where at?
Second at Hutch and third at Salina.
Okay. Well, you're within reaching.
Yeah.
Dad says he wants one.
Yeah. That'd be a good goal.
Yeah.
That'd be a good goal.
You guys pit beside each other?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah. Well, Dad's got it. Yeah.
Dad's
He's quite busy when it comes to all three of us.
He starts running.
This
Yeah,
one's
because
fun.
he's from one to the other.
Caitlin Hafner Martinez. Who goes through the most motors?
Well, her husband was building them.
Yeah,
for
her
us
husband
for a
was
while.
Yeah. The old Peyton.
Yep.
Hoffner racing engines.
Yep.
Really?
I used up plenty of them.
Guaranteed 4 nights.
Yeah.
No, it's guaranteed 6 nights. I blew both of mine up in 6 nights.
I got 3 out of one of them.
Yeah.
Peyton, we give Peyton a hard. It's nothing he did wrong. Just bad luck.
well, yeah, but all that less spoiler will take less horsepower.
Yeah.
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 It'll last longer.
Oh,
You'll
man.
have more fun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, check this out. Pam Chambers, your aunt.
Yeah.
Your aunt. I gasp a lot when Dylan is driving. No faith, right?
I guess. He's on 2 wheels more than he's on 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen him on 3 a lot. And And then Kennedy says that's no joke. So you guys got fans.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, we got.
They may be related, but they're fans.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there. So.
Was it hard for you guys to learn to look down the racetrack? Did that come natural to you to look down the racetrack? A lot of guys get so focused on what's going on right in front of them, they don't see the racetrack.
That was one, yeah.
I was so scared the first time I jumped in my car,
Well, sure.
and it was like a middle of June the first time I raced at Salina, and I was so scared. I was literally looking. I almost didn't have my seatbelts on because I was like looking all over the place, like what's going on, and yeah, I was very aware, and I feel like I still am.
You kind of gotta watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that, when I first started, Dean Bontrager, like, that first winter we were building my car, he, we'd be driving down the road just in town. He said, "You see that dog?" And I'd look up, and it's like, and then that's what he was hinting at, was like, don't be looking at the damn road in front of you, and that was just driving around town.
Sure.
Like, he was just preaching that stuff to me, so it was always in my head when I first started, so I feel pretty good about that.
It took me a minute.
It's tough to do.
Stacey Huffman incident. But yeah, it took me a good probably 6-7 nights total to not drive off the air cleaner of my car. Yeah.
Yep. What do you got?
Oh, Peyton's
Oh,
watching.
Peyton, that kid over there is giving a hard time. Yeah, my buddy.
Your dad says Peyton can't build motors anymore. He's locked.
He just got married.
He's locked down.
Yeah.
Oh, he got married?
Yep.
That has a tendency to slow a fella down.
Yeah.
He's a drag racer himself.
Yeah, he's a drag racer. He needs a turn down there at the end.
Austin Hill just got on too. Hey, Austin.
Austin Huel.
Let's see. What else do I have for you guys? You like your belts tight?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Really?
Ooh.
They're tight, but I still gotta move a little bit.
I can almost get mine to where I had a hard time breathing.
Yeah, see, I don't
can
like
get mine
that.
pretty tight.
Yeah, I like them tight.
I got those new ratcheting belts, so I can get them just
You
right.
can get them just
Yeah.
right. What about you?
I don't like them super tight, but I don't like to bounce around. Last year, I put on a handful of weight between these past 2 seasons.
Why?
And
Got a girl-friend somewhere or drinking
I do
beer?
have a girlfriend, but too much of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
But my first year, I wobbled around in my seat. I could never get tight enough. Now I got to rotate into my seat to get into it.
Needs a porta power between the sides. Bouncing around though, and
You like your seat tight?
I feel just
Full
fine.
containment?
Yeah.
You guys all got full containment seats?
Yep.
Yeah.
I finally bought one. I got one now.
He ran with the $60 Kirky for
Yeah, I had
6 of his 7 years.
I had that
old
flat
Nova.
bottom Kirky for a long time.
Yeah, my first year I went racing, Dean Bontrager let me borrow a seat. Well, he's a sprint car guy, so it was a sprint car seat. So it was one of those, they set straight up and down. It didn't have no layback to it.
Right.
So my first car, I had to sit in there all straight up and down in that thing. So I got a full containment seat.
I don't like a layback seat.
I like the laid back seat.
Do you have a layback seat?
I don't even know.
I think it has
Flat bottom or layback?
No, it's got a little bit of layback to
Layback.
it.
You?
I've got a layback.
God damn. Maybe I was just too fat or too tall. I just didn't like it. Bobby put one in my car one time. I took it out the next day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else?
Yeah.
You guys got sponsors?
Yeah.
Y'all got the same-
I told him I was going to shout him
Y'all
out
got
tonight.
the same
Yeah,
sponsors? You got different ones?
No, I got Smoky Valley Tire there in Marquette.
Okay.
Those guys have helped me out a lot, and so I told them I was going to give them a shout out on the show tonight.
Do it.
Yeah.
So Smoky Valley Tire, and if you're in town getting tires, Pockets Liquor right down the street. Buy you some beer while you're waiting.
There
so,
we go.
yeah, and then Headland Electric for me. So.
Okay.
But,
You got any sponsors?
I've gained quite a few over the last couple of years. I don't know if that's good or if that's
It's good.
bad or.
It's good.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah.
know them all?
Yeah, I know them all. First of all, BSB.
Of course.
Matt Scherer, he's an AMSOIL dealer. That's who I went to for all the oil for the motor and everything. Shelter Insurance. Dustin Frenier, he's on here with Preferred Auto Detailing.
He just said Dallas. I got a 17-inch Butler if you need it.
Yep.
there you go.
That one might be too big. Mine's a 15 currently. I need a 16. Or no. Yeah, I might need a 16.
Got the rest of your sponsors?
Yep. JP Crop Consulting. Dixie's Car Wash. They give me a wash card to wash that mud off every single week.
Oh my God, that's worth millions.
Yeah.
Yep. And Legends Barber Shop and KBN Signs and Graphics.
Okay.
I got Cam with Bulletproof Designs. He's my rap guy. I decided to go with him, and then we got MCRS Construction, Crawford Equipment Services, and then I just picked up a new one actually on the way here. With,
Really?
Yeah, my buddy
Cool.
started his own business and asked him if he wanted to get on the side of the car and everything, and his is Augie's.
Augie's Land Service.
What is it?
Augie's Land Service, isn't
Land
it?
Services,
Or
yeah.
Augie's Land
Cool.
Clearing or something like
So-
that. Yeah.
Before we let you go, we do have another question, and we'll do it to each one of you, so listen in. Explain the feeling each of you got the first time you stepped out on the track, or something most memorable.
Oh, it was a dream come true for me. I had wanted to do it. I had wanted to do it for so long, and the first time.
So the night you got the car, you got the header stuck on the trailer, and it almost come off, and all that stuff.
I'll never forget. It was a dream come true.
So when you got on the track, what did it feel like?
It was. That was the only thing you thought about. I mean, it was just. I mean, everything else that you ever thought, you were just locked in. You're zoned in on it. I still, to this day, when I
And
get
when you
in
got out on the racetrack, how did it feel?
yeah, you almost can't describe it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
tough,
you've
isn't it?
driven a car, and
It's
so
tough.
you almost can't describe it. It's
It's weird.
it's a whole new
I asked
realm.
you guys that question, what you're doing right before you start.
Yeah.
And there were times, I'm pulling my belts tight, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing out here? And then once the green flag flew,
That's what I'm saying. It's
time to
like
go.
you don't even think about it.
You just do it.
Yeah, there's not even enough. Yeah, you just get locked in on it.
Leading up before we even made it to the racetrack, I didn't do a damn thing at work that day. I was so scared. I put all of my money into this. I was like, this
Sure.
is stupid. I put all my money into this, and then I didn't do anything. I felt sick all day.
Uh-huh.
And AJ Finch told me as soon as you pull out on the racetrack, it's all going to
It'll all go away.
And it did.
Yeah.
But I thought I was going so damn fast, and I watched a video, and I got lapped in the heat race, and I was so embarrassed. But it was a blast.
But it was
once
fun,
it actually
wasn't
did.
it?
I was more worried about not being able to get the car in gear than anything. But it was, I was scared, but then it all went away. It was fun.
I was pretty much fine all day until we put the car on the trailer when I got off work, and then I was kind of really starting to think, and like Dylan said, I thought I was hauling ass, but I think an RC car would have turned a faster lap than I did.
So, do you guys get butterflies before you race?
I still do. In the staging, when you're when you're sitting back there ways, no, but when you're getting ready, when you're the next in the chute,
Yeah.
it's
See, stock cars are always after hobby stock, so your butterflies wear off because
Because
it
you're
takes
waiting
so
for
long.
forever.
Yeah.
Was that a dig at your brother?
No. No.
And once, as far as when everything like the jitters wear off, it's usually as soon as the green flag
Yep.
waves. That's when it goes. Mine's
You're going.
up until the time I strap in, till the time the green flag drops.
You ever talk to yourself in the helmet?
I say
do.
shit a lot.
I do. I talk to myself a lot. Yeah.
What were you doing?
Yeah.
You?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I've often thought if somebody could hear me, they'd just die laughing.
Oh yeah. If they ever mic'd me up,
Yeah.
if you guys ever decided to mic somebody up, you could type a.
That
you
could
probably
be a
write.
possibility.
You could write a book on it.
Well, I'm
sure
telling you.
you would. So some of it might not be PG.
So it'd be
but,
rated R.
Oh,
be
yeah, I
rated R.
know. I did it.
Ugh,
Anything else? Anything else we haven't covered?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Gotta thank you guys for making
Yeah.
the trip.
Yeah,
Thanks for
really,
having
thanks
us.
a lot.
having us.
Like,
Yeah.
like I said, I met you with Brian down in Hayes and then Hutch. And, yeah.
Yep. No, it's always fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Did your girlfriend help you with the race car at all?
That's my girlfriend.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, she does. She puts up with a lot.
Does
So
she?
I always. She cleans out the rig when we get home. I got an RV. I pull the trailer. So
She sweeps it out?
Yeah, she does. She helps with that. She helps a lot at the track. So she always hands me my
You're
stuff.
grinning.
So she does. She helps out a lot.
She wash your race car?
She's helped wash it before. Yeah.
She pulled that sucker all the way to Dodge City.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
Really?
She pulled
With the
that
motorhome?
No, we used my pickup that week, and she did. She pulled the car all the way to Dodge City.
Were you
so-
guys like hung over or just didn't want to drive?
No, she wanted to do it. So I was,
Really?
more power to you. So she pulled my car all the way to Dodge. So,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Listen, guys, good luck next year.
Yep.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
you somewhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I go to Salina Speedway and watch a lot. I'm going to go wherever Ryan's going and watch him. And then
He needs to get out more.
I know. He knows. And then, of course, I'm working every other Sunday up at Concordia, so maybe you guys can make your way up there. I know.
Yep.
It's a Sunday. Got to work Monday. Got to go to school Monday. Got to do something Monday. I get it. So we'd love to have you. Bobby?
Well, we're going to finish up with Belleville High Banks Hall of Fame and National Midget Auto Racing Museum. Holy cow.
I made the print really big when I did these, so we can read it.
Located right there off of the highway when you go through Belleville. Their winter hours are Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 4. Great place to go visit. If Don McChesney's in there and you're in there, ask for him, and you will definitely get a first-class tour of the place. Pretty cool guy.
What are you doing?
No, I had to give me a Zen.
Oh, geez.
DSB Manufacturing. Got any questions on any of your stuff? Shocks? Give Jay a call. His phone number is 620-326-3152. So,
First time I talked to Jay, and I'll never forget this. Well, you're off the gas when you should be on the gas.
yep, that's what I tell you.
Isn't it great?
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He can help you out.
Are you done over there?
I'm done.
Yeah, I got this wrong tonight, that's for sure. Kansas Auto Racing Museum. Again, they're 1205 Manor Drive, Chapman, Kansas. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Admission's $5 for adults. It's $3 for children ages 6 to 12. But I'm telling you, you really got to check that place out too. It's got a wealth of racing Kansas
cool
knowledge,
stuff
you
in
know. It's got the truck that we helped give away when we first started this show, sitting in it.
Sitting in there.
Years ago, we were hooked up with another radio station, and we gave away a retired Craftsman truck.
Huh.
And, it ended up in the museum.
Yeah, that's good.
Salina Speedway, 2841 South Burma Road, racing every Saturday night next year. I got it wrong here, but be great to see him on Saturday nights. Mean Dean Productions, he's an event production service. Find him on Facebook at Mean Dean Productions. He's produced this show for a long time. He hated us when he first met us. And now he wouldn't know what to do without us. District Eat and Play right here, 2259 South 9th Street. We call it the old Sears building. It's in the Central Mall. Full bar, restaurant, go-karts, axe throwing, cornhole, eat, play, repeat. Hill Job Graphics, Mike Hill, 785-822-4536. Signs, banners, demo numbers. You can go by a shop at 6924 East Highway K4. Concordia Raceway, 615 Industrial Road, Concordia. Quarter-mile, egg-shaped dirt track. I like to call it a great American short track. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
East side of Concordia at the fairgrounds. So, gentlemen, thank you so very much for driving up here. I hope it was worth it. I hope you had a great
Absolutely.
time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thanks,
Bobby?
Thanks everybody that got on and watched
Yeah.
too. Had a pretty good crowd tonight.
We
so
did.
it's pretty
Thanks,
cool.
everybody, for tuning in. Bob, great job.
Well,
Dean, thank you so much.
Be doing this again next month sometime.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
let
into
you
that
know.
winter time where we do one once a month, and so you guys did great. We had a tough time getting you scheduled,
Yeah.
but I was glad all three of you could make it, so it was a perfect
Yeah,
night.
yeah, no, it worked.
Worked great. So for Bob Potts and our guest, the Chambers Racing Group, Bill Gritt, saying so long. See you next month. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
You did great.
Yeah.
Where is the bathroom?
You gonna take a leak?
You go.